It started in the kitchen, a place that used to be full of laughter but now felt like a war zone. My sister Vanessa stood across from me, her face flushed, fists tight, voice cutting through the air. "I told you not to touch my stuff," she shouted, shoving a chair aside. "I didn't," I said, clutching the glass of water I came for, "the only thing I touched. I don't even go in your room." But that didn't matter. She stormed across the room and slammed me against the fridge. Her elbow drove into my ribs, sharp, fast, brutal. Something cracked. My knees gave out. The glass slipped from my hand, and it shattered across the floor. Pain shot up my back like fire. I gasped for air. "Mom," I cried out. "She hurt me. Something's wrong, I can't." From the living room came a lazy reply. "Oh, honey, not again." Mom didn't even look at me, didn't get up from the couch, just rolled her eyes like I was interrupting her night. She didn't mean it, she muttered, "Don't be dramatic, and don't call the cops, she's still applying for jobs." I couldn't believe it. I was 23, studying and working part-time, trying to build a way out. Vanessa was 25, unemployed, and somehow untouchable, the golden child who could do no wrong. When I said my rib might be broken, Mom laughed. "It's probably just bruised. Take a Tylenol and stop ruining the evening." That night I lay in bed, wheezing with every breath, clutching my phone. No health insurance, no savings. Everything I earned disappeared into groceries that turned into Vanessa's lashes or weekend drinking. The next morning, she was in the kitchen again, humming, sipping orange juice I bought. When she saw me wince, she smirked. "You always bruise like a peach," she said. I wanted to scream, to break something, but I didn't. I sat quiet, and I planned. Because Vanessa had taken everything from me for years, friends, money, even boyfriends. But now, she finally had something to lose, a future, and I had something stronger. Proof. In the bathroom mirror, I lifted my shirt. The bruises were already dark and spreading. I filmed everything, the colors, the swelling, the way I gasped when I moved. I even recorded Mom's voice. "Don't call the cops, it'll ruin her job hunt." I saved the files, backed them up, and with every click, I felt something shift inside me. I wasn't going to protect them anymore. I wasn't their punching bag, physically or emotionally. They had always told the same story, Vanessa, the misunderstood angel trying to fix her life. Me, the overreactor, the burden. Not anymore. 3 days passed. I said nothing. I skipped dinner. I ignored Mom's digs. Still sulking? Or don't ruin Vanessa's interview tomorrow. Because I already knew, this time, I wasn't the one about to break. Every word out of their mouths only piled fuel onto a fire they didn't realize was already at their feet. I dragged myself to urgent care alone, every breath cutting into my chest. The doctor confirmed it, a fractured rib. He gave me a look when I said I'd fallen, but I didn't need pity, I needed proof, documentation. I paid with a borrowed credit card mine had been maxed for years, drained by Mom's endless emergencies. When I got home, Vanessa was glowing about her upcoming interview at a downtown publishing house. "They want someone fresh, someone authentic," she said, twirling her hair, smiling like she hadn't just snapped one of my bones. I stayed quiet. I waited. The night before her interview, she left her laptop open on the dining table. Her resume sat on the screen. One reference stood out, MS. Carmichael, her former professor, the same one she'd trashed on Twitter 2 years ago after failing her final paper. I snapped a photo, took a deep breath, and then I did something I never thought I'd do. I called the company's HR department. I didn't lie, not once. I told them who I was, what she had done. I sent the photos of the bruises, the voice recording of Mom saying, "Don't call the cops, it'll ruin her job hunt," the medical report. I ended with, "This is the kind of person you're considering to represent your brand." No reply, but I knew they'd seen it. The next morning, Vanessa strutted out in a new blazer and my necklace, the one Grandma left me, the one Mom insisted Vanessa deserved more. She came home by noon, her face twisted in rage. She hurled her purse across the room. Someone sabotaged me, she screamed. I stayed in the hallway, silent. They knew everything, she cried. They got an anonymous file accusing me of assault, of fraud, with evidence. Mom gasped like she was the victim. Who would do that to you, sweetie? She asked, stroking Vanessa's back. Vanessa's eyes cut through the room and locked on me. You, she hissed. I tilted my head, calm. Funny how the truth always comes back around. Heh. That night, chaos erupted, plates shattered, Mom screamed, Vanessa shrieked. I locked my door and smiled. The first domino had tipped. The next day, Vanessa got an email. She was permanently blacklisted. HR didn't just toss her resume, they flagged it, contacted her alma mater, and filed a complaint about the falsified internship hours. I knew she'd lied, and I knew exactly how to prove it. Meanwhile, I was busy building my own case. Every receipt, every bank transfer, every email where Mom had borrowed money, I collected it all. When I sent it to a legal aid nonprofit, they confirmed what I already suspected. Family theft is still theft. Financial abuse is a crime. They offered to help me press charges. I didn't say a word that week, not until the day I left. I packed my bag, printed my medical report, and set a copy on the kitchen counter. On top of it, I placed the eviction notice. They didn't know it yet, but the house was mine. Grandpa had signed it over to me when I turned 18, quietly bypassing Mom because he never trusted her, and the inheritance she swore had disappeared. It had been sitting in a trust, waiting for me. I used it to buy the house right out from under them. When my parents came home and saw the envelope with my name on the letterhead, their faces shifted, confusion, then anger, then fear. You can't do this, Mom stammered, her voice shaking for the first time in years. I already did, I said flatly. Don't worry, I gave you 30 days. Vanessa lunged, but I didn't move. Not this time. I had proof, I had power, and I wasn't afraid anymore. The 30 days vanished faster than I thought. Vanessa unraveled. Every job application came back with a rejection. Word had spread HR departments talk, especially in publishing. No one wanted an applicant tied to assault, fraud, and cover-ups. Each new rejection sent her into a tantrum, screaming, crying, threatening to sue, but she didn't, because she knew it was all true. Mom and Dad tried their old tricks, first silence, then guilt, then gaslighting. You've always been dramatic. She didn't mean it, she just snapped. But not once did I hear the words that mattered, we're sorry. Instead, Dad muttered, this house was never meant to be yours. I smiled. Funny, the paperwork says otherwise. With the deadline approaching, Vanessa stormed into my room like I owed her a rescue. You're ruining everything for me, she spat. You're so obsessed with being the victim, you forgot how to be a sister. I stood steady. Being your sister has meant bruises, silence, and lies. I didn't forget how to be one, I just decided not to be abused for it anymore. She hurled a coffee mug. It exploded against the wall inches from my face. I didn't blink. I picked up my phone and spoke one word. Police. Her screams rose higher, but I barely heard them. All I heard was the sound of panic. Because this wasn't about one fight, or even one broken rib. This was about years. Years of being blamed, dismissed, and discarded. And now, I was finally rewriting the ending. The cops came. Vanessa locked herself in the bathroom sobbing. Mom begged me to take it back. This will destroy her future, she pleaded. You should have thought about her future the day you left me gasping for air, I said. They were given one last extension, 48 hours. When the day came, they left without a word. Vanessa stormed out with 2 trash bags of clothes. Mom screamed at the walls. Dad kept his eyes on the floor, too ashamed or too cowardly to look at me. And just like that, the house was quiet. For the first time in my life, the silence didn't feel like punishment, it felt like peace. Once the house fell silent, I stood in the hallway and listened. No slammed doors, no sneers, no Vanessa acting untouchable, No mom defending her with bias disguised as love. Just quiet, pure, steady peace. A week later, I began renovations. Painted over the holes, hauled out the old furniture, scrubbed the walls clean of memories. And then I did something bold. I turned Vanessa's old room into an art studio, the very dream they always told me would never pay bills. Then I reopened an email I had once ignored, the full scholarship I'd deferred months ago. The university still wanted me back, and this time, I went, not with baggage, with freedom. Months passed. My art gained traction online. I freelanced for companies that once turned Vanessa away. Professors praised my work. Slowly, then suddenly, my voice returned. One day, a message appeared in my LinkedIn inbox. Did you really ruin your sister's life just to get into school? I smiled and typed back, no, I rebuilt my own. She just got buried under the debris she created. Then I logged off. The last I heard, Vanessa was couch hopping 2 cities away, bouncing between jobs. My parents had moved in with an aunt, someone less blind to their excuses. Holidays I now spent with people who actually cared how I was doing, people who loved without bruising. And on graduation day, the second time around, I didn't invite my family. Instead, I wore the necklace Grandma left me. As I stepped onto the stage, I whispered, "This is for every time I was told to stay quiet." The applause wasn't thunderous. It didn't need to be, because this time, the ending was mine.